Currently, you have 700,000 UTR members. There are 100 million tennis players around the world. What is your strategy for all those tennis players to become UTR members?
Yeah. So even since then, we're over 800,000 now, so we're growing very quickly. But most of the people that are on UTR now today, they're elite tennis players. They're tournament tennis players. And so whether they're on the ATP Tour or whether they play at the top game junior-wise or nationally in their countries, where the vast majority of tennis players are out in local communities. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and build technology now that's going to allow everybody at the local level to be able to get rated very easily and to find people to play with. And that's how we bridge in and we figure out now how to make the game better and support people in those local communities.
I like that. But specifically, the first step. What's your first step you're going to take to reach that goal?
So we've just launched our rating system and our tournament management system. Today, somebody can go onto our website at myutr.com and they can self-rate themselves. So they can establish what is probably an estimate of what their rating is. And so they can be part of the community. Now soon, what we're going to be doing in this fall, we're going to say now we're going to come into local clubs and provide local coaches with the ability now to say, hey, let's organize events and start having people play against each other. And once they play each other, now that rating that they have will become more and more validated, okay? And once they have that, then they know exactly where they stand in the world order of tennis with Rafa up here and beginners down here.
Back in the 70s,
Yeah.
Prince became one of the biggest racket manufacturers. Their entry point was the coaches. The UTR. How do you plan on getting the coaches involved?
Yeah. So not only do we want to help players find an opportunity for more play with individuals and the like, we also want to help the business of tennis. So what we're going to be doing is this platform we built that allow people to organize events and allow people to connect into local communities. We're going to give that platform to all the coaches and all the clubs. And now we're going to allow them to use this tool to galvanize more play, to make the experience better, for them to make more money in their local communities by bringing people together. And so it's very important, and we're very focused on helping the coaches and the local communities because they're the fabric that unite those individual players in the broader community.
You just did an agreement with Roger Federer, Tony Gatzik, the teammate company. What does that mean for the UTR?
Yeah. So what's exciting about UTR is that because we're bringing real innovation in terms of UTR and we're investing in technology and we're trying to figure out how to bring tennis into that next age and digital economy, we've had the opportunity to collaborate and interact with many different people. We've done a wonderful relationship with Oracle. We've done a wonderful relationship with Team 8. And most recently, in the Team 8, what they saw here was, gosh, here's a way to really make the game better. It's a way to innovate. It's a way to give back to the game. And so Team 8 with Roger and Tony and his two other partners, Dirk Ziff and Ian McKinnon, are just excited to join us. They've become major shareholders, and we're going to be working now very closely with them on a bunch of different things to support the game internationally.
Very good.
Yeah.
If you look at other sports, they have just one organization. For example, if you look at football, there's NFL. If you look at soccer, there's the FIFA. But tennis has many organizations. You have the ATP, the WTA, the ITF. You have all the Grand Slams. You have college tennis. Where do you see the UTR?
Yeah, well, I think what you described is probably one of the core reasons why we haven't had the opportunity in tennis to adopt technology at the local level the way we have in many other sports. Because people are fragmented, because they're siloed into their own individual agendas. The ability to unify the game across a standard has been something that, A, it hasn't been a priority, and B, people have been focused on other things. What we see is this is an opportunity to try to unify. We want to collaborate with everybody in tennis. We don't want to alienate anybody in tennis. And we think that if we can create a standard for how to rate everybody in the world, that helps everybody. And so our hope and our vision is to say, let's get everybody on the planet, 100 million people rated in tennis. Let's allow those local communities to enjoy the game better and allow local businesses in tennis to thrive more. And let's bring the growth back into the game.
Yeah. There have been comparisons between a top 10 ATP player and top 10 ATP ranking and the UTR top 10. Yeah. And then there's the women's ranking, the top 10 WTA ranking and the top 10 UTR ranking.
Yeah.
Do you think the UTR ranking will become the global tennis currency where you can enter tournaments with it, for example, the Grand Slams?
Yeah. Well, I think that's leaping way ahead. I think the ATP and the WTA obviously have wonderful ranking systems. They work differently than our system, right? The ATP and the WTA is a measure of points depending on how far you get in tournaments, and that's how that ranking is determined. We don't do that. You know, ours is all about head-to-head competition. So we're really about how well are you competing against others. So we have tremendous overlap. You know, our top 100 ATP, about 85 or 86 of those are on the ATP, you know, the UTR ATP overlap. We have some players that are higher or lower depending on what's happening. So our goal is not to displace the ATP or the WTA. Ours is just an analytical methodology that tells you something else. Now, can we use this system for recognizing talent across juniors and, you know, collegiate and other pathways? Absolutely. And can we use that to create tournaments? For sure. But I think these are both valuable in their own right. The question is, how do we collaborate together to support the tournament pathway?
That's great for tennis.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Real pleasure.